Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the 10 o'clock news on Q2, Montana's news leader.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Russ Riesinger. Janelle's off tonight. The longest shutdown in United States history is over, at least for now. Both the House and Senate passed bills to fund the government through mid-February, allowing for border funding negotiations and letting thousands of federal workers be paid for the first time this year. And this evening, the president signed that legislation, bringing the 35-day stalemate to an end. CBS's Natalie Brand has more.
Lawmakers quickly moved to reopen the federal government hours after President Trump announced a temporary break in the more than month-long impasse.
I am very proud to announce today that we have reached a deal to end the shutdown and reopen the federal government.
The stalemate eased on day 35 of the partial shutdown as more than 800,000 federal employees missed their second paycheck. Commercial air traffic snarled, and many other side effects of the longest shutdown continued piling up. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi signed the bill.
Kind of a solemn occasion for us because so many people have suffered so long.
And late Friday, the president signed the measure.
But Friday's short-term deal does not include money for the president's border wall, so we could be back to the same place next month.
We really have no choice but to build a powerful wall or steel barrier. If we don't get a fair deal from Congress, the government will either shut down on February 15th again,
or the president said he could use emergency powers to fund the wall, bypassing Congress.
Trump even today, just a few minutes ago, announced that he is prepared to shut down the government again unless he gets his way.
We all help each other out, and it's been absolutely amazing to be able to help each other out, but I get to go back to work on Monday. I can't wait.
The agreement means this Coast Guard employee and thousands of other federal workers should begin to receive paychecks again soon. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Well, Montana congressman reacting to the president's announcement. Senator Steve Daines says he's happy to see the government reopen, but both sides need to continue to negotiate and compromise in good faith so we can have a permanent and real solution to keep the government open and secure our borders, he says. And Senator Jon Tester echoed his fellow senator in the push to form a long-term solution. He says the deal struck today is only a short-term fix to this irresponsible government shutdown. Now we've got to get together to craft a long-term bipartisan solution that actually protects our communities. President Trump made it very clear that he's not giving up on a wall on the United States-Mexico border, and tonight we're getting the perspective from Montana Congressman Greg Gianforte, who recently went to the border to see firsthand. He agrees with President Trump that a physical border is needed, but also that Border Patrol needs other equipment to detect drugs in cars. Gianforte said border security is a top priority for him when he appeared on Montana this morning. He said he spent time talking with ranchers and Customs and Border Patrol, and says he even saw how severe our national border security crisis is.
I was concerned for their safety, but clearly we can do better. But the consistent theme with the ranchers there and the border agents is we need a physical barrier. Having a porous border is not in the migrants' interests or the U.S.'s interests.
Gianforte believes the president has put forth a reasonable proposal for the wall. President Trump has previously supported a concrete wall. However, he's recently said that he supports a wall of steel that can be seen through. Roger Stone is not staying silent after he was indicted Thursday on several charges from the special counsel's office. Nicole Killian is at the White House, where the president, on the other hand, had little to say about the charges.
President Donald Trump's personal friend Roger Stone went on primetime TV Friday night to assert his innocence after he was indicted on several counts in connection to special counsel Robert Mueller's investigation.
I will not fold. I will not bend. I will not bear false witness against the president. I believe in God. I know what I have and have not done.
FBI agents took Stone into custody early Friday morning at his Fort Lauderdale, Florida home. He was later released on bond, and he will be arraigned Tuesday in Washington.
I will plead not guilty to these charges.
Charging documents allege a senior Trump campaign official was directed to contact Stone regarding damaging information WikiLeaks may have had on the Clinton campaign. They also allege he lied to the House Intelligence Committee and that he tried to pressure another witness into lying.
Were you aware Roger Stone was updating your campaign on WikiLeaks?
President Trump did not mention the charges against Stone at his 2 public appearances Friday.
Thank you, everybody.
But on Twitter, he said, greatest witch hunt in the history of our country. No collusion. Roger Stone is now one of 6 people associated with the president to be charged in the special counsel's investigation. Another, Paul Manafort, was also in court Friday in Washington. The special counsel's office argued Manafort lied to them and breached his plea agreement. The judge will rule on that matter next month. Nicole Killian, CBS News, the White House.
Well, Roger Stone's Florida and New York homes were searched by the FBI Friday. He has set up a website to help fund his legal defense. Do you like to use a straw in your drink? You might want to get used to having to ask for it at your favorite restaurant. A Democratic senator from Missoula is sponsoring a legislative measure that would require Montana restaurants to only distribute plastic straws to customers who ask for them. And if they give them out without a request, lawmaker Sue Melick says in her bill that action would carry a fine. The bill would essentially be enforced by an inspection or based on an investigation after a consumer complaint. Also in that bill, the authority for a county or city government to implement an ordinance that further restricts local food establishments from providing a single-use straw to a customer. Penalty of $25 for each notice of violation would be issued. Montana's court system is getting overwhelmed by an ever-increasing caseload, causing some civil cases to drag on for years at a time. At the legislature on Friday, lawmakers got their first look at a bill supporters say will help unclog the system and bring justice to those least able to afford it. MTN's Mike Dennison has more.
House Bill 182 would create a new state account to finance legal help or alternative dispute resolution for people with civil legal disputes, but who can't afford a lawyer. The state Supreme Court would administer the fund and award money to local programs providing these services. Attorneys and judges lined up to support the measure Friday, saying people going to court without lawyers over civil disputes are a major reason for delays in the system.
At my firm, I am working on cases that have gone years, where we are still waiting to hear from judges on motions and orders. This bill would free up many of the matters that take up judges' time and give the court system necessary resources to keep moving at a reasonable speed.
Attorney Bill Bronson helps run a law clinic in Great Falls that assists low-income clients, mostly in landlord-tenant and family law disputes. He said it needs more resources and that House Bill 182 could provide that money.
I would like to deal with a grant program in the state of Montana with people that I know, with standards that are developed here in Montana with our particular needs and concerns and circumstances in mind.
The bill, sponsored by Republican Representative Ken Holmland of Miles City, would raise an estimated $900,000 a year through higher court filing fees. The bill is a product of the Access to Justice Commission, chaired by Montana Supreme Court Justice Beth Baker, who led off testimony Friday for the bill before the House Judiciary Committee.
The justice system is a cornerstone of a functional society. Without an effective court system, there is no justice. And our courthouses need to be open to everyone, not just to those who can afford lawyers.
Also testifying Friday was a young woman who asked not to be on camera for her own personal safety. She said affordable legal advice helped her escape an abusive ex-boyfriend. Now she's in law school, ready, as she put it, to spend her life paying it forward. At the Capitol, Mike Dennison, MTN News.
The House Judiciary Committee took no immediate action on that bill. All right, let's turn to weather now. Things are still a mushy mess on many of the roads out there. And Bob, you're saying it could possibly get worse before the weekend's over.
Yeah, we got another round. Going to probably move in sometime late on Sunday. But in the meantime, I wanted to show you what happened today. This was earlier this morning in a place just near Laurel. There was a truck accident. I guess a truck and a car got into it. And what happened after that was, look what it did. It caused a huge backup on those icy streets on I-90, especially near Laurel. Diane Parker got these photos for us. Thanks, Diane, for doing that. Of course, you can see the truck there. And let me show you show you. This is what it looked like after everything was cleared out. It was just a very icy mess. That stuff is going to be coming our way very shortly. Here's how it's going to happen. You'll see by Sunday 10 a.m. we're just looking at some spotty rain showers moving into the state with that cold front. Then later on in the day, that cold front drops all the way down into Wyoming. It's going to be producing scattered rain and snow showers. The snow will fall on top of the rain, which will then freeze onto the streets, and then the snow will make it where you can't even see the icy sections. All of that coming your way on Sunday and again on Monday. We'll have more on that in a few more minutes. Russ.
Thanks, Bob. The past week of winter weather has caused its share of problems, but the word at Red Lodge Mountain is phenomenal. 41 inches of snow has blanketed the runs in the past few days, and skiing is the best of the season, we're told. The last week of snowfall would outpace most entire month of January snowfalls. The mountain has picked up 3.5 feet of snow since Monday. Coming up on tonight's 10 o'clock news, this Billings soccer star may keep her eyes on the ball, but her sights are set much higher. We're going to meet her. And in sports, Montana's Maggie Voisin chasing not one, but 2 medals today at the X Games. Scott shows us if she nailed it.
You're watching MTN News with Janelle Slade and Russ Riesinger. Storm Tracker weather with Bob McGuire. And sports with Scott Breen. This is the 10 o'clock news on Q2, Montana's news leader.